strangers. Whenever anybody would come to her place, she would hide herself in a room and not speak. She would avoid any chance to meet people and speak to them. But in school, of course, you can't help it. You have to go to school and you have to go alone. Your parents cannot be there. Your siblings cannot be there. But she was lucky because both her siblings, both her sisters, actually studied in the same school. So whenever she was in trouble, they would come to help her. One day, while it was sports class in the morning, she was in the ground with all the other kids, and there was a practice session for throw ball. And the sports teacher was calling the names of every student one by one, and everybody would go and throw the ball. There was one girl, her name was Madhura. She was pretty smart, healthy, good looking, and she was also intelligent. So this little girl actually used to admire this smart girl. So the smart girl comes and she throws the ball. It goes to a huge distance and it's best. So everybody starts clapping for her and she also claps. After that, after one more boy's turn, this little girl comes there. And then the teacher says, in a fun way, will you be able to even hold the ball properly? Because she was very thin, lean, and she looked very weak. Everybody started laughing at her. She felt really bad. Very embarrassed. So she was angry from inside. How can people laugh at me? Just because I look thin doesn't mean I am weak. But because she would not speak, instead of speaking, she tried to show her anger in her actions. So she took the ball and threw it pretty hard. So hard that it crossed the mark of the smart girl also. And then she was like, wow, I did it. She looked at the teacher and teacher said, wow, I didn't know you were strong enough. Okay, you just look weak, but you are really strong. That's fantastic. And then this teacher looked at the smart girl and said, see, Madhura, she did even better than you. And then the little girl looks at this Madhura, expecting that she would smile and now she'll feel better, that she's a better girl, she's smarter. But instead of getting the smile, she gets a frown. The girl is really pissed off. How can she beat me? This poor girl, how can she beat me? Was the feeling that she had. After that, the sports session is over, then the classes start, and in the lunchtime, this little girl had a habit of going in the garden and sitting below a tree and reading a book, while all other kids were just enjoying after the lunch, running all over the place. She used to sit and read. So she was sitting there, quiet and alone, reading her book, and then this smart girl comes and she says, you think you can beat me? And this young girl gets up. No, actually teacher asked me to throw, so I did. Oh, really? So you're better than me? So the young girl says, nothing like that, but I just tried. Why don't you do one thing? Beat me now, let's have a fight. Beat me now. So the little girl says, no, I don't want to beat you. So the smart girl says, but I want to beat you. And she gives a nice punch on her face. She falls down and poor girl, she's hurt. She starts crying and she looks everywhere. Maybe somebody would help, but instead of helping her, everybody starts laughing at her again. She feels embarrassed, sad, and she runs to her classroom, sits there, puts her head down on the table and starts crying. Her sister, who was younger to her, 2 years younger, was pretty smart, very confident girl, and she used to come every day in the lunchtime to meet her sister. She came with her friends, and when she saw the sister was not sitting under the tree, she went to the classroom. The moment she saw her sister crying, she was really worried. What happened? Why are you crying? And instead of telling her the exact thing what happened, this little girl just pointed out at Madhura, and the sister understood that something has happened and that girl has hit her sister. She needs a lesson. I'm going to teach her a lesson, she said. She also had friends around her. So one of her friends said, isn't she the sister of Gaurav? Gaurav was another classmate of her sister who was in different section. So she said, yeah, if he is, then this is a really an opportunity for me to give her a lesson. Come on, come with me. She takes all her friends and goes to Gaurav's class, stays there, waits till Gaurav is alone. And the moment he is alone, she goes to him and starts beating him. Her friends say, can we also? She says, yeah, go ahead, beat him. And they all start beating him, and this guy, poor guy, he cries, why are you beating me? Why are you beating me? So she said, because your sister beat my sister, so I beat you. So this guy cries, says, but I don't have a sister. Come on, what are you saying? Is Madhura not your sister? No, she's just my neighbor. Please don't beat me. And the sister says, oh, sorry, wrong guy. I'm so sorry. Actually, I was just trying to, take a revenge for my sister. I am sorry. And then she leaves. But while she is leaving, one of her friends says, what if this guy tells the teacher we all will be expelled? And the sister says, yeah, you're right. She goes back to that guy and says, you know what? Whatever happened today, you are not telling this to anyone, because he can come again. And the poor guy, still crying, says, okay, I won't tell anyone, but please don't beat me again. Now, why am I telling you this story? This is actually a real story, and that poor girl who was beaten was actually me, the younger version. And the younger sister who was so, protective of her elder sister was actually my real sister, and she did beat this guy who was not even the brother of the girl who had hit me. So now, why am I telling this story to you? This used to be me when I was younger. Not confident at all. I would hide from speaking. But today you can see me speaking here. I also take sessions. I actually provide trainings. And in past year itself, I have taken more than 100 hours of sessions. Nobody taught me, but I changed. Not just changed, but I transformed. How did I get that confidence? I did a lot of things to get that. And one thing I've learned from my life is you have to take control of your own life. You have to decide that you want to improve. Otherwise, nobody can help you. So if you think public speaking is something which is not really required, or if you're not good at it, it's okay. It's not okay. This was just a small incident that happened in the school. Throughout life, you get bullied by people who are, bolder than you. If you are not smart enough, you won't get good salaries, you won't get appraisals, promotions if you're not smart enough in speaking. Many people actually apply for jobs every single day, but companies always hire people who are smarter. And the only difference between you, if you're studying, if you have good graduation, and the other people from your class will be this communication. They are not going to hire everyone from your college when there's a campus placement. If you are offering the same credentials or same qualification as your classmates, what do you think will create a difference? Only communication will create a difference. So if you want to learn how to become an effective public speaker, even when you're not today, even when you are shy today, you can actually eliminate this shyness and start speaking. So join our session today at 6:30 p.m. where I'm going to share the secrets of my transformation, and there will also be Maya Daswani, the founder of Persona Power and the confidence and personality coach, who's going to train you, give you methods that will really help you become a great public speaker. So join us today. Thank you.